Why, hello everybody, and welcome to an open mic pain with Anthony and Wayne, and we're here for part deuce of UFOs. So the hearing has happened. Is the world different? I think so. I'm here with my co-host Wayne Russell. How are you doing, Wayne, and what did you think of the hearing?
I am ecstatic. This hearing was, I don't want to say it was everything I hoped it would be, but we'll get into why it was everything it should have been, I think. It was a big day in the history of the world. I don't know. I think this was a great day.
Yeah, I think they might look back on this day, actually, like the history books. And we're going to go over why it was so important. So, number one, they did do it under oath. We were talking about saying that it was pretty essential that they did that, and they did make Dave Grush, Fravor, and Ryan Graves raised their hand and went under oath and said some wild shit.
I'll tell you, 6-12 for me when that happened.
Oh, yeah. We were like...
Oh, yeah, it was so good. I was pumped about that. And do you want to go over briefly, for those of people who might have missed the first UFO episode, why that's so important?
Yeah, so it's pretty important that they go under oath because they are making verifiable claims. So all they're doing, though, is making claims. So this is saying, I've seen or I've heard or a credible person has told me that we have X or Y in our nation's inventory. And if they weren't under oath, they could say anything and it wouldn't really matter, and how would you care? But if they make verifiable claims under oath in front of Congress and they're telling lies, well, they can be brought in front for perjury, and all kinds of shit can happen to them. So it's a big deal that they made them, I'm told by Twitter that this was on the witnesses. They really wanted to be under oath because they felt the same way. Like, why would you care what I say unless, I really put something on the line? So I think that's huge.
It is huge. Yeah, I was excited to see that. And there were some things that were said, mostly by David Grush, where he was asked a few questions where he said, I cannot speak to that here, but in SCIF, it's SCIF, right?
Yes. Sensitive, compartmentalized information facility.
Yeah.
So that's basically just an avenue where you can give, just really any room that they designate that is completely, safe from tapping and all that. It's where someone can exchange classified information. And we knew from the beginning, before this hearing, that Grush was going to have to say that a lot, because the specifics of the program are classified. So he can get in trouble for saying that in front of cameras. But now with the whistleblower protections that they passed last year, he's allowed to say freely in the right setting. So they were just this was the setup for that.
And I don't know, I might have the wrong outlook on this, but some of the things that he said, I can speak to that in a closed setting. I was like, holy shit, that's not a no. Yeah. I feel like every time he said that, it was not a no, it was a yes.
Well, because he did say some no's. Whenever they would ask a question like, have you seen, a foreign adversary with the technology, he might say, no, I haven't seen that. No, that's not what I picked up. But if it was something specific that, for instance, have there been crashes where bodies are recovered? He said, I can't get into the specifics of that, but yes.
Or has anyone been fucking murdered?
That's true. So the key to all this is that the way that this cover-up for these UFOs have happened, almost equally as big of a story is how they kept it a cover-up. And a lot of people have said, oh, well, like, why are these people only coming out now? There have been whistleblowers since the 40s and 50s that have come out to talk about this. And a lot of them have been Jeffrey Epstein in their prison cell, where they have killed themselves because they were so sad. by like a man strangling them. So a lot of that's happened. It's like the Hillary Clinton body list.
I mean, there was a lot of people that Hillary knew that were able to shoot themselves in the back of the head.
Yeah,
Where
there was like that one guy who's like he killed himself by dragging himself behind a car and driving himself into the Sahara Desert, and then shooting himself like multiple times with a shotgun from a long distance away. He was really good at that.
yeah. I have a quick question. This is slightly off topic, but since we're talking about whistleblowers and people who have knowledge and all that, um, Men in Black, not the movie, but the actual Men in Black that are rumored to exist for real. This is something I meant to ask you about, and I just keep forgetting. Are you familiar with this, and what do you know about this? I've
Yeah,
seen
so
bits and pieces online, but I don't know a lot. I was just curious if you knew anything about it.
yeah, here's my perspective on it. So I think when people talk about Men in Black, they are inherently attributing it to a governmental source. Like the government has a special Men in Black that will go and seize UFO materials, and that's kind of their job. And I don't believe that to be the case because our government is so unbelievably compartmentalized. When you're saying government, what are you talking about? The intelligence community? You're talking about the DoD? Are you talking about the Air Force, the Navy, and specifically the Marines? All of those are completely separate organizations that, in order for them to create something that's so cross-governmental, to me, is fishy. So what I think is, and David Grush has hinted at this, is that there are recovery teams for private aerospace companies, meaning if you are Lockheed Martin and you have literally billions of dollars of contracting, and you know, because of agreements that you've had with the government in the past, that there are non-human technological crafts flying in the sky and sometimes they crash. Well, you're probably going to put a big emphasis of your money into getting to the crash before anybody else does in the future because, you know, it's just, if they crash, it doesn't mean the government's the only people that are ever going to get there and see it. You could be better at that. So from Grush's perspective, if a UFO goes down, there sometimes will be people that you see there that might, to you, seem like a Men in Black team, but might just be the security team of Lockheed Martin, and they're going in there to try to pick up something that will be very valuable to them.
I just picture them being like the Salamanca twins from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely don't want to fuck with them.
Don't want to fuck with them. No, I think it's much sillier than that. I bet it's a bunch of nerds that go out there in hazmat suits that are familiar with radiation, you know, probably in that background, because a lot of the theoretical propulsion ideas rely on, you know, radiation and nuclear energy, shit like that. So, yeah, something of that nature. All right, back to the hearing. So, what I want to really talk about, folks, is the bullet points of what Grush said on the record. So, a couple things. One, he did say that he knows for certain that we have craft in our possession, that bodies have been recovered from these craft of non-humans. We're talking about alien bodies, motherfuckers. Why are you still listening to this? Why have you ripped off all your clothes and went into the woods and fornicated or something? Because this is real. We are not alone. Think about everything you've been told in your life. It's wrong. And this guy's under oath who worked for the UAP task force. So you're like, oh, who would know if this was real? That guy. Daily briefing for the president. Like, you can go on and on and on about how much superlatives David Grush has. And this guy's going out putting, again, he said he had people coming after him already. Under oath, he said this for the things he's been saying. And I believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. So we have craft in our possession. We have alien bodies. All of that shit is now on the public record. And that doesn't even get into David Fravor and Ryan Graves' testimony, which including Fravor's firsthand tic-tac on the record of the Congress. The Congress people asked really amazing questions. It was a great day for UFOs.
It was. I want to touch on 2 points on that. this hearing was bipartisan. So whether they were Democrat or Republican, everybody came together for the same cause, which was to uncover the truth here, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, when you have
Nope.
Tim Burchett and you have Alexander or Tez, or whatever her name is, AOC, in the same subcommittee, you know you're bipartisan as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Was it Burkett? I thought they kept saying bird shit.
Burchett? I don't know.
Bird shit. I have no idea.
He said
I kept
dead
hearing
gummit a
bird
lot, though. I
shit.
love dead gummit. I want to start saying that
Oh,
myself a lot.
I loved that guy. I don't know who that guy is, but I would have a beer with that guy just to hear him say that over and over again.
God,
God
exactly.
damn it.
God damn it. It's like the South are a completely different species of human being.
Yeah. Hey, the other thing, he had a really good sense of humor. Um, but he was also, you could tell he was super into this, and he was like this is his shit. He actually was one of the ones that put this together, right?
Yeah, he was lead along with Representative Luna. So they weren't chairs of the meeting because they don't chair subcommittee. So everybody got their tits in a bunch when Burchett wasn't, the chairman of it. But no, he's a congressman who put this together because he got definitely briefed by Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon, who used to run the Lou Elizondo's case, run ATIP, the program that succeeded into the UAP task force that Dave Grush worked for. So all this is a 90-year, we found something incredible that we can't tell anybody about and we can't reverse engineer secret. The government everybody says the government can't keep secrets. And I would tell you that you're a fucking idiot if you think that. The government has only dispelled secrets when they've absolutely had to. Like when the church committee found out MK Ultra was intelligence community was dosing citizens with LSD and watching them bang each other and shit like that. And you did not see the U-2 stealth bomber until it was already over another fucking country for many years doing its surveillance. So they keep secrets really goddamn well. Like, who killed Kennedy? We still don't fucking know. And it's very obvious that that's the case.
Yeah, that's true. We kind of went off a little bit. The second thing I wanted to say was about Fravor. Is his first name David, right, as well?
Yep.
Yep, David Fravor. He made a comment where he wasn't a big UFO guy. The thing I loved about him was, you could tell he wasn't super thrilled to be there, which I think kind of added to his credibility. He made a comment when they said, "Why are you here? Why are you doing this?" And he said, pretty much peer pressure. People are telling me I need to back these guys up because what I know is true.
Well, I feel like his case is the number one, and it's unanimous for evidence as far as radar, as far as data goes, and highest level eyewitnesses getting close proximity. This is the best publicly known case that exists. So it's important that he goes out there under oath and says the story for the public record and goes, no, there are rumors out there that I don't think that this is, that I think that America could have this technology and all that. Well, here I am to dispel that. I'm saying under oath that no, this was not something that we have in our inventory. Just, again, fucking sane.
Yeah, hearing all that come from his mouth directly, and the just a step by step of what he witnessed and what happened that day was incredible. Same thing with Ryan Graves, which I wasn't familiar with him, and that whole thing with the dark gray black spheres inside the cubes. Or I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're basically a dark gray cube inside of a translucent sphere where the edges of the cube touch the edge of the sphere.
Yeah, and just trying to pick that. That is something out of Doom or something. The video game Doom.
Yeah, you can Google that, and it will come up with the artist render of what he's talking about, because he's been talking about this for a lot of years now, since 2017 roughly. But what Ryan said in this press conference that was brand new was that he gave an on the record account from a, I don't want to call it a whistleblower, but somebody that came forward with evidence to him that was in our armed services of a football
Oh,
stadium sized red
the
cube.
red rectangle thing.
Yeah, that hovered
Yeah,
over our nuclear air base and what. So that's brand new. No one's heard of that before. And so that's cool. They have avenues to investigate that.
and once again, this is like it's new and it sounds fucking insane, but they are under oath. Like they're putting a lot on the line here. Where if they can't back this up, or whatever, that they could potentially go to jail for this. They're not just some kid with a, like we mentioned before. I don't know if maybe we did, maybe we didn't. This might have been a conversation we had, but not like the guy that had the fucking Bigfoot in his igloo cooler, which turned out to be like a Halloween store, clearance item. Muted.
Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. No,
Yeah,
that was
this
awesome.
is
That Bigfoot thing.
this isn't that. That guy has no repercussions whatsoever. He just gets a little bit of 15 seconds of fame. Yeah, I was the guy that duped Fox News, that kind of thing. These guys are on the fucking record.
Yeah,
They
and I
have a
want to.
lot to lose.
So the last thing I want to say about the hearing, because I think this is the biggest part, my number one revelation that came from it was a question from actually AOC, and she asked David Grush, "Hey, if I want to go find this saucer, I want to go find the craft, I want to find the program, where do I go? Who do I ask specifically?" And David Grush could have said again, "That's classified, and I will give you information, in an unclassified setting." And though he did, how he worded it was so verifiable that, it leads me to believe he's telling the truth. And what he said was, I can give you specific names, hostile witnesses and cooperative witnesses, and
Mm-hmm.
specific program names and companies of where they work. So he told her, out like when in a place where it's illegal for me to do, I'll give you every piece of information that you need to go see these saucers. And Ross Coulthart, we talked about that Aussie beautiful man in our last episode,
Yep.
has said that
Slinging it.
slinging it, has said that he has under good authority that there is a UFO so big that the government, the United States have grabbed possession of, that it's unmovable, meaning they had to build a building around it. And that happened in a foreign country. Nobody knows where it is, but the rumors it's South Korea. People have like put on Google Earth where they think it would be. But anyways, if something like that's true and they can't move it because it's so big, maybe it's dug into the ground archaeologically or something, and they've dug out, a portion of it, but they can't grab it out of the ground. Well, now David Grush knows where that is, and he's going to send the Congress, perfectly breadcrumbs to that area.
One of the interesting things was Congress had said that they had tried to go somewhere, and you'll know better than me, but they had tried to go check some things out, and they were stopped by the Pentagon.
Yeah, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Burchett, Matt Gaetz, and Congresswoman Luna went down to get a briefing on UFOs. When they got there, they were giving a briefing on threats to that Air Force base. They halted the briefing and said, "This is not why we're here. We're here for the UFOs, motherfucker. Please tell us about it." They were denied that briefing. Matt Gaetz, who is part of the Senate Arms Intelligence Community, the House Intelligence Arms Community, so he's very high up in classification, was able to, using beautiful legal jujitsu, coerce the Air Force Base into showing him the evidence. So he said in the press conference that though Burchett and Luna were not allowed to see it, he was, and he was shown looked like a fireball UFO, looked like the sun, that fighter pilots were chasing, and it was scrambling their radar and lidar, and they couldn't take FLIR, forward-looking infrared videos of it. So the guy took out his iPhone in his cockpit and got close to it and took a picture. What they found when they saw the picture was it was an orb with a bunch of little orbs spinning all around it. And Matt Gaetz has said, and again, he said this during a under oath congressional hearing, that he could not attribute that to any technology known to any place domestically in the world.
Here's a quick question. Was Matt Gaetz under oath as well? Was all of Congress, are they always under oath?
I don't know how that works, actually. I mean, no, because they would go to jail a lot for all the lies that they say up there.
I got to say, I have to give them credit for how much they bashed the government.
They did.
They bashed it a shit ton, which was hilarious. But
Dadgummit.
Dadgummit. But I was just curious. I didn't know. It doesn't. I'm not to discredit him or anything, but I was just curious if they were all under oath as well.
No, he might be a lying bitch, but his story is corroborated by Burchett and Luna, who were there, and said that he was given a access to the pilot who took the photo and shown it. And Burchett has talked in the past about being given access to, video that the public hasn't seen that would completely, sci-fi, they call it, change the mind of the people. So, I mean, we're there. This is the tipping point, everybody. We're about to get disclosure to the American people that we're not alone. Maybe these are think about the implications of where do we go after we die? How did we get here? Who made us? What if the answer to this is here? And sorry, Jesus, but this is like what maybe really did it. And I think that's profound.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. That's the age-old question, right? The meaning of life.
Are we alone? And I got to tell you, folks, I'm fully convinced we're not. I wasn't. If you talked to me before the debrief article that David Grush came out on, I think I might have said, even maybe on the record on this podcast, that I was a heavy believer, but my belief was waning because we were not seeing.
Hey.
What?
Waning.
Oh yeah, exactly. Waning, which is a bad term. When you wane, you are a huge pussy. I think that's what it's called. So I was being a huge pussy about the UFO topic, and I was just getting sick of it because, show me the craft at this point. But when Grush came out in the debrief article and then was corroborated with an on-the-record colonel from the Pentagon saying that he's telling the truth, we are not alone. I mean, how much more do you need before you have to... I'm not saying jump all in and say there's aliens, there's nothing we could do about it, but to at least go, I don't think they're lying. Let's get to the bottom of this. Our intelligence agencies, by the way, started in 1947, right after Roswell, New Mexico, have been fucking us for 75 years any way that they could and operating like a rogue agent for the government without oversight. And because of people like Ryan Graves, Dave Fravor, and Dave Grush, we're not worrying about that anymore very soon. So, Wayne, do you want to wrap this sucker up and, say anything else?
No, I think it was a really good watch. If you guys have not watched it, go ahead and do it, man. Just listen. Just really pay attention. Don't do it with your kids running around. Don't do it with your wife nagging at you or your husband nagging at you. Sit down and listen to what these motherfuckers have to say because they are slinging some hammers, and it's all under oath. This is, in my opinion, this is all the truth. These guys believed that shit.
So part 3 of our video into UFOs, we're going to take from Roswell, New Mexico, and we're going to bring you bitches into the prime time right now, 2023, of what's happening in the UFO world. So we're going to do all that. Wayne's giving me all kinds of signals that I can't decipher. So I'm just going to...
I was trying to say, can you go for a minute? Because I have to go pee real quick.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's how you tell me to keep talking. Is you just go...
Oh, that's the beginning of the episode.
God damn it.
Yes. I love it. I'll be back in 45 seconds.
Yes, so I'll just start this again, you stupid piece of shit. So in part 3 of our UFO episode, we're going to take you from Roswell, New Mexico, when we started off, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Some Project Blue Book, take you maybe into some Socorro, New Mexico, up into the Phoenix Lights in the Varginha, Brazil, up to the Tic Tac incident in 2004 that happened in the hearing. Maybe up into 2017 with the cube inside of a sphere that Ryan Graves was talking about. And we'll end with, I don't know, some candy, some cake, or some shit. I'm supposed to talk for a minute while Wayne pisses his stupid bowels out into the toilet. Because he couldn't wait till I just finished the fucking end of this. Even though there's probably 30 seconds left because we were in the finale of it. But no, Wayne has to go and pee, I hope, into a sink so that he does it quicker. But more than likely, he'll go to the farthest place that he possibly can go to take this piss and make me talk forever, longer, and always. So I don't know. I'm just barreling steam now, over and over again, staring at the ground, staring at the ceiling, staring at these lights that are burning my eyes. I'm not talking to Wayne because he's still pissing. Looking at his sign. Seems kind of crooked. Shouldn't be crooked. Had all kinds of time to look at it. Bullseye not between his head. Wooden chair beneath it. Oh, god damn it. I hope you like this when you edit, you fucking son of a bitch. So, let's see. Something else. Reptilians. Are the government wearing masks, and underneath those, are they lizards? I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss that next in a different episode. Pitter patter. Skedatter. God damn it. I hope that this is hard to edit because you did this to me. All you can see is Spotify on his fucking banner because a wooden chair is covering it. I bet that's uncomfortable. Son of a bitch. But you'll see all that and more on another episode, on another step, in another place, towards the quest for all kinds of empty chair laughs.
No word of a lie. What?
How much of that did you hear by
What?
Did you
Nothing.
hear? Oh, good. Wait till you hear what I said.
No, it all comes to the headphones. I couldn't hear anything. No word of a lie. I go pee, and I walk out of the bathroom, and Daisy is like running back and forth in the kitchen. I was like, wait, you gotta go pee? So I open the door real quick. I go, like, I had shut the light off. I walk out, and I just watch her. I swear to God, like 25, 30 seconds, and she's just peeing the whole time. She was peeing so long, I started laughing. I think the neighbor was outside smoking a cigarette, and I was just like, I just started laughing. I was like, dude, are you all right? Like, what are you doing? And she does this. She looks back at me. She goes, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Like a cocktail shrimp.